Welcome, Genesis International College students. I'm so excited to guide you through today's explainer. We're zeroing in on a summary for a really critical part of your coursework, preparing to erect scaffolding up to 4 meters. This is all part of your CPCCCM2008 unit. And look, let's be real, what we're covering today, it's the absolute life-saving groundwork that has to happen way before you even think about picking up a tool. We're going to break down the planning, the safety checks, and those crucial calculations you've got to master. So, let's just dive right in.
Imagine you're just arriving on site for day one. Put yourself right in those work boots. You look up at the building and you know you've got to build a rock-solid, safe structure up to that 4-meter mark. Now, because scaffolding is high-risk work, it's not just a physical challenge. The stakes are massive. I mean, gravity's definitely not your friend here, right? So your very first task isn't building, it's preparing. You've got to make sure every single piece of the puzzle is safely in place to protect yourself and your entire crew.
All right, here's our quick roadmap for today's walkthrough. We'll start with an intro to scaffolding, look at safety frameworks, gathering your site info, consulting people, assessing hazards, and wrap up with calculating materials. Okay, Section 1. Intro to Restricted Scaffolding. What exactly is it?
Formally, scaffolding is defined as a temporary structure erected to support access or working platforms. Whether you're in construction, painting, or decorating, you use scaffolds to create a safe, stable platform when the job simply can't be done from the ground or a finished floor. The big takeaway here? This temporary structure literally becomes your primary floor for the whole job. It has to be just as solid as the ground itself. No compromises.
Moving on to Section 2, Safety and Compliance Frameworks. Basically, the rules you gotta follow.
Now, because scaffolding is officially classified as high-risk work, it demands total, strict adherence to safety standards and legislation. And listen, compliance isn't just about filling out annoying bureaucratic paperwork, it is literally life-saving preparation. Sticking to these rules is what guarantees the safety of absolutely everyone around the scaffold, from you up top to the person just walking by on the ground below.
A huge part of that safety framework is the Model Code of Practice. Think of this as your go-to practical rulebook on site. It gives principal contractors and PCBUs, that's anyone conducting a business or undertaking, the exact guidance they need to meet health and safety requirements under the WHS Act. Knowing this code? Not optional. It's an absolute must for fulfilling your legal and ethical duties on the job.
Next up, Section 3. Gathering your site information. Let's talk documentation. Proper, safe preparation always starts with accurate, written info. Take a look at this list. Before you even begin, you have to review plans, specs, and drawings so you know exactly what you're building. You'll need to check the SWMS, the Safe Work Method Statements, and the JSE, or Job Safety and Environmental Analysis. You're also looking at work orders, safety processes, specific manufacturer instructions for your scaffold type, and of course, what you actually see during a physical site inspection. If you skip reading these, you're flying blind. And flying blind in this industry is exactly how people get hurt.
All right, Section 4. Consulting the right people, knowing who to talk to. Communication is an absolute game changer. See the trowel and paint roller on screen? They represent the collaborative reality of any job site. Because let's face it, you aren't building a scaffold in a vacuum. Other trades like your brickies or your painters, they're going to be standing on and interacting with the exact scaffold you build. Their specific needs and the unique hazards of whatever they're doing have to be considered right now in the prep phase.
So, before starting, you need to clarify the task and lock in your understanding by talking to some key people. You absolutely must consult your supervisor, the site supervisor, the safety officer, those other trades we just mentioned, and, of course, your own coworkers. This isn't just a casual chat over coffee. You are actively discussing potential hazards, confirming risk controls, and making sure everyone is 100% clear on doing the job safely.
Section 5. Assessing hazards and risks. How we actually apply risk control.
Identifying and fixing on-site dangers before they even happen is the whole point of preparation. Check out these proactive hazard controls. First, you need to physically put up signage and barricades to keep unauthorized folks out of the zone. You've got to figure out safe access and egress routes, like how are people actually getting safely on and off the site. You absolutely have to determine the expected loading using load tables. You can never, ever just guess how much weight a scaffold will hold. And finally, you're rigorously checking all your tools, equipment, and your PPE for serviceability, reporting any faults right away.
Let's test this out with a direct hit-the-tool scenario straight from your Genesis College materials. Imagine your assessment requires you to erect a modular scaffolding system up to 4 meters with 4 bays. Would this project require a SWIMS, or would a JSEA be sufficient? I really want you to think about this, keeping the high-risk nature of the task in mind. Now, high-risk construction generally mandates a safe work method statement, but this is exactly the kind of critical, on-the-spot assessment question you need to be asking yourself before you start building.
Finally, Section 6, Calculating Scaffolding Materials. Time to do the math.
You have to run the numbers so you know exactly how much material to order. Guessing doesn't work. Overestimating wastes money, and underestimating brings the whole job to a grinding halt. The math is straightforward, but it's vital. Step 1. Check your plans to find the total length of the building or the specific section of the building that needs scaffolding. Step 2. Just divide that total building length by the length of one single section of your scaffolding. The result gives you the total number of sections required for one bay. It's a really simple calculation, sure, but getting it right every time is the mark of a true pro.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer on preparation. But before you go, I want to leave you with this one critical question. Have you fully prepared to protect yourself and your crew before that very first pole even goes up? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. From understanding the rules and gathering your paperwork to talking to your crew and calculating your load, your preparation dictates your safety. Keep this structured, step-by-step approach in your head as you move forward in your CPCCCM2008 unit. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, Genesis College students. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.